live. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
This meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
And we're live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I apologize because I can't hit my butt with both hands. No, I'm going to blame Zoom on this one. Zoom, you have blown it. I actually got on a Zoom chat with the people that run Zoom, and I said, hey, we've got this problem. What's happening is it's not letting me log on to go live the way I normally do. It keeps, when I click the button, it takes me to another video. So that was happening. Welcome. So glad that you're here. I'm going to send out the this video. Stand by for just a second. Need to just share this. Copy. Here we go. I'm going to copy this into the chat. Are you guys still watching the you still got the chat up for the old one?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Here you go. Just drop this. Here we go.
Are we not in the same room?
We are not in the same room.
Oh crap. Well, I'm taking names out of the wrong room then. Whoops.
No, all those people.
I'm telling them go fresh and go to a new link.
Yeah, I just told them to go to that link. Please
you know what I could do? I could drop
this new link. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get a refund from Zoom because they told me that this was fixed and it happened again.
Yeah, they better give you, and they better give you 2 bowls of rice.
No bowls of rice for you.
Ah,
the show didn't start. It wasn't 1 full hour, so you don't get. We'll give you a half a bowl of rice, Sean. Okay, we're past the shenanigans. Welcome. Thank you so much for logging in. If you are a part of the Patreon supporters, you're going to get a refund. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody gets refunds. Sorry, guys. But I do want to talk about the sponsors real quick. Thank you, PPG Smoke, for your investment in the show and all that you do for the show. Go check out Ryan Roberts' website. He's really close to releasing some very reasonably priced frames. And so go check out his website. He's got some new stuff. He's got some things coming out, new headphones that are going to be way more intuitive than what we have, than anything you can buy right now for paramotoring. So that's pretty cool. ppgsmoke.com. That's ppgsmoke.com. Also, the show's brought to you by paramotorprops.com. That's the website. If you blow up a prop, really good deals. Go over there, check them out. Their website is paramotorprops.com. Also, paraorangeproducts.com. Larry and the Bag Lady make all kinds of great stuff for paramotoring and some free flight stuff. If you don't discount free flight guys stuff, there's some things in there. Go check out the website, paraorangeproducts.com, or I think it's just paraorange.com as well. And also, I don't want to forget about the Nebraska PPG. Josh Bowden, he has a school in Nebraska. If you're in that area and you want to get some training, go check out nebraskappg.com. No, it's not nebraskappg.com. He doesn't have a website. And I keep on trying to tell him, get it going, Josh Bowden. But you can reach out to him on Facebook. So we have an open topic tonight, and we were planning on having a special guest, but it kind of fell apart. So I have a whole bunch of things that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about some recent ground starting incidents. We had somebody that in our very close group, very small group, had an injury. He ground started. I'm not sure exactly all that went down, but I want to just bring awareness to this. If you mess around with ground starting, it's going to bite you eventually. It's not about it's not about how convenient it is. It's not about I just had to ground start because there was no other options. There's always other options. I was thinking about it today. I made a bad choice because I didn't feel like walking all the way back out to the truck and getting a taller ladder. So I stood on the top of my ladder. And I thought how dumb it would have been. How dumb it would have been if I would have fell off that ladder.
Dum, dum, dum,
Dun, dun, dun,
dum.
dun. But anyways, same thing. Ground Star. Sorry, people are texting me. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the guy in the quad who didn't do a hang check and did a front flip on launch in a big quad, by the way, a caged quad. I don't even know. We'll talk about those.
He did get a 10 on the dismount.
He got a 10 out of 10. Also want to talk about midair collisions. We're going to talk about situational awareness. There's all kinds of things that we can take away from these midair collisions, and we're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to bring up some video from my 4th of July crash where I landed my back. We're going to talk about motor outs and considering where you're going to land and practicing spot landings. And then we're going to, we'll wrap it up talking about Free Flight XL, XC, XL, extra large, XC, and talk about thermals and triggers and stuff like that. So glad that you're here tonight. Yes. If you don't know Anthony Paragringo is a local here. He's one of the flying guys. He flies a paramotor. He's been flying for a few years. He's got some great stories. Craig Taylor's with us. He's in Nantucket, and he's also one of the I would say founders of the show. He helped create the show. He's been around for a long time. He's been a part of it. And Sean Napsker, he has been around for a long time, and he's going to spin the spinny wheel. And if you're in the chat it up. Your name's getting written down.
I'm going to spin it hard this time too.
He's going to spin big tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to give away a couple extra things tonight since we blew it on the start time and Zoom can't get their stuff together. I'm going to just keep blaming Zoom for the rest of the night.
We're going to give people Zoom.
The Zoom boom.
Zoom boom. Zoom blew it. What else? Yeah, so we're going to give away some neck gaiters. I need to pull one of these bad boys out. You're going to need a Paragliding Talk neck gaiter. I kind of like it.
Man, that's fancy. Wait a minute. This got some blue on it. I seen some blue in there.
This one is this one's got some blue tape on it because that's for the guy who won last week, Mark Taylor. This is a new one, and that just has stickers on it, some blue stickers.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a hint of blue there. I was like, whoa, stepping it up a minute there, Robert.
Do you want one?
It's getting me a little giddy. Well, I don't know, man. This was pretty comfortable, but you know, I'd probably look pretty good in that. It'd probably help me get a date, right?
All right, we're sending one to you.
Absolutely.
By the way, your GoPro is going to be there on Saturday.
I seen that.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry
you.
It's taking so long. I don't know why it's not. It should be there.
That's the way shipping is, man.
They wouldn't let me ship it air because they were like, this has lithium batteries and they will explode and take the airplane down. Like, all right. Maybe it was a GoPro that caught that ship on fire in our bay.
Geez, well, as long as you don't ground the batteries out with a paperclip, you're just fine.
Yeah. So also, if you don't know these guys on the show, Nick is also with us, and Nick has just a really deep background in aviation, and you guys don't realize it, but this dude is like a freaking champ, flying all kinds of aircraft, sport planes, stunt planes. If you talk to him long enough, you'll find out that he's flown just about everything that you can, all the small stuff. I don't think he's got into the real big stuff, but anyways, he's got a wealth of knowledge, and he's also really knowledgeable on radio transmission stuff because he is a certified, what is it called, Nick?
Amateur radio operator or ham radio operator.
Yeah. So if you want to ask questions, he's watching the chat as well. Yes. Sorry, I'm working out the details of that SIV next week. Yes.
I certainly hope it goes better than Zoom.
Yeah.
You didn't happen to be able to capture that video that I tried to get to you like 3 different ways, did you?
Yes, I did, with the airplane on the toe.
I mean, a buddy of mine lives around a corner. I sent him a message that said, let him get in so he can see that.
Oh, that was your buddy who has that channel?
That's 73. Yeah, is him.
What? He's got a ton of followers.
He's a riot. Like, you'll get lost in his shenanigans. Like, you'll laughing. But if you're able to share that, I think it is, I don't know where it came from. I would love to find out, but that thing, I mean, this morning, first thing waking up, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's Thursday. I got to get this right to Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually have it right here. I'll share it while we're talking. So these guys are on tow operation, and this video actually came out about a year ago. I saw it when it first came out, and I don't know exactly where they're at, but I'll just share it on here. So if you look closely, that guy's on tow, and an airplane just about hits the line. I mean, that now realistically it was probably about, I don't know, maybe 20 feet away from the line, but that's way too close. Way too close. Yeah.
You know, they had an experience like that not too long ago. I would say probably here in the last week, where hang gliders, they were doing an assist tow, basically pulling one with another one that has a motor, and I guess some foreign airliner was coming directly at them, and the guy that was getting the tow had to release and get out of the way because this plane was so freaking low, and they weren't supposed to be within 3 miles of the airfield that we were at even. Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. I don't know what would happen if the airplane hit it. It would probably take the airplane down, but I wonder if it would break the tow strap, or if it would take the glider out of the air really fast or something.
Oh yeah.
I wonder, but yeah. So hang on to your hats, kids. Hey, look, Lee Cachulo is in the chat.
Yeah.
Mike Brennan is in the chat.
Yeah, they all watch this
All
show. We've
kinds
got
of
big
people
followers
up in here.
Yeah, we got good followers, man.
I'm usually so just buried in the conversation and questions and all the stuff that's happening. Glad you're here tonight. Really appreciate everybody being patient with me, trying to figure out how to get this internet working.
You're doing great, Robert. You're doing great.
Thanks, Sean. All right, we're going to give Sean a full bowl.
We're live.
Full bowl.
We're live right now.
Yeah. Full bowl.
Full bowl. Woohoo!
Yeah, full bowl of rice.
I'm gonna poop good tomorrow.
So anyways, let's go back to the ground starting thing. Let me just say, you've heard the term on a rack or on your back. Now, there's something that you need to consider, because there's always going to be somebody that is going to ground start, and they're going to justify it. And I've talked to a lot of old school guys. As a matter of fact, one of a big instructor here locally that he's been instructing forever, and I'm not going to name a name, but he's local, and he ground started and tried to fix it before it got out of whack, put his hand in it, and I want to say it was a wood prop. I'm not positive, but his hand broke the prop, and his hand is not good. Okay, saying that, this dude knew better. And so every person that you talk to that is playing with their motor, doing ground starting, they will all say the same thing. I just didn't think it was going to happen to me. It's gonna happen. So just like you're going to have motor outs, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. You're going to have situations where you ground start, it's going to do something funky. It's going to freak out. You think about how much power it takes to lift your fat body off the ground. There's enough power for that. You think you're going to stand there and just hold it when it juices? I'll give you an example of what I think happens. You prime and you prime and you prime and you put all this pressure into your tank, and then you go to fire it up. It's got to burn off what was in there. Doesn't matter that you haven't given it any throttle. That fuel is already kind of pressurized and it's ready to go in there. It's like a fuel injected little deal. And so it's got to burn off. It's going to burn off. And then that translates it translates into torque, and game over. Mike from PPG says, Robert, you need to try and get the Turkish pilot on the show that is on YouTube flying the couch. I like the way you think, Mike. Make that happen, and I will have him on for sure. Yes. Let's talk a little bit about the guy in the quad. Did anybody see the video of the guy in the quad? That did a flip. That video is going around. Well, anyways, I don't have it on deck. Actually, Tucker is editing a video, so I don't want to step too much on his video. But this guy in a, what do they call those quads that are full? Like it's almost like a full cage. It's got these big bars that go in. I'm not sure who
Green
makes
Eagle?
them. No, it's not a Green Eagle. It's big. It's way massive. It's got like a roll cage.
Rotax?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but they look pretty cool. But anyways, this guy, I'm not sure exactly all that happened, but when I first saw it, I thought, okay, the mistake that this dude made was he didn't do a hang check. Now, that's where I'm going. I want to talk about the hang check and the importance of the hang check. This was the very first thing that I did with Phil Russman before we went flying and flying the Kangoo, and I spent a day with him training. Before we did anything, we got in the simulator and we did a hang check. So how many of you guys do hang checks when you switch gear or when you, okay, why? And maybe talk about that a little bit, and I'll open up the floor for you guys.
I'd say make sure your center of gravity is proper. You want that angle of thrust to be right. I learned that with my accident last summer, that I was a little too far forward, and literally the fan was pushing me down rather than pushing me forward.
That's something you deal with too as a free flight pilot, because when you launch, you're always trying to lean forward, put some pressure on the A's like you're running off the hill. Don't work like that.
Yeah, I had a buddy, he just bought new equipment, and he's in Orange County, came down here to, I helped him out to break it in and get it all set up. And he's was newly trained with Mike Masterson out in Salton Sea. So he needed to get set up. So we did a hang test in my backyard, and we had to move a couple times and stuff. But, when you got new equipment too, I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely experienced the harness is so stiff and new, and you haven't quite settled in yet. So it's going to take a little bit of stretching and moving around till it really cups your butt, so until it conforms. But so we had it I thought we had it set up pretty good. And, we went to go fly the next day, and he had trouble taking off, mostly because it was technically a poor launch. But I jumped in the seat right after to go fly it, and I had the hardest time getting into the seat. Once I got in, I was still pitching forward. So we immediately, I landed right away and reset it back a little bit more, and it was definitely a lot better. So it's one screw hole, one notch back that can still make a difference. So, but I think we got it all set up. But yeah, you got to do a hang test.
Yeah, the part of the problem is for this video I saw, this guy, he's in a quad, they launch, and as soon as I want to say that he did a front flip. So he gets in the air, and the weight of the deal just goes forward, and it fully flips over. Now the guy who's holding the camera freaks out and decides to yank the camera away. That's usually a sign that it's not staged, it's not fake. They yank the camera when you miss the landing or you miss whatever. But the idea that, so how do you hang check with a giant quad, right? You have to have, and I'm asking the question, maybe you quad guys or you trike guys know, how do you do a hang check with a trike? How do you do a hang check with these big old vehicles?
You can do it. I did a hang check in the trike to get things right.
You just do it in the garage or what?
we used the simulator frame and kind of lifted up, in, and then I just straddled it and pulled up my feet once I was in the seat. You're only a little bit off the ground, but it's enough.
All you need is like a chain fall and a load divider. Just pick it up off a tree or whatever strong object you got will support the weight.
Yeah. Pair of forks off the Bobcat bucket.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
didn't
I
think
mean,
about
I've done hang checks like with the machine as soon as I got it, but once it's set, it's pretty much generally set.
Don't try that with the garage door though.
Well, no. But
Hey, my
I
hang
only
check was
did.
done up at a fly-in by Eric DeFore, and we did it on a back porch of a hangar with a pair of ratchet straps.
Yeah, I was gonna say a hanger is probably a great place to do it. But anyways, just thought. Let's move on to midair collisions. Something that we need to consider. So I'm going to ask a rapid fire question. I need your answer right away. What do you do midair collision? You fly right through someone else's wing, and you're tangled in their lines. There's no getting out of it. What do you do?
Throw your reserve.
Throw reserve.
Cut the lines.
Right away, throw your reserve. Now, cut the lines is that's a good one. You probably want to.
I'm cutting first and then throwing.
Yeah. Depends on your altitude.
First.
Yeah. Cut the other guy's lines.
You SOB.
That's what you get. Now, something that we don't think about a lot, and we are almost always flying with someone else. If you're flying with anyone else, you've got to consider this, and this is why it's so important. Now, throw the reserve is the right answer, right? And not just one guy throw reserve, but both of you throw a reserve. And there's, obviously going to be some pretty weird stuff that can happen, and there's a million different dynamics that are going to be involved. But the correct answer is throw. We want to get our reserves out. 2 guys went into each other at Torrey Pines last year. They both died, and they didn't have to. And they were high enough that they could, at least one of them could have thrown a reserve. Neither one of them threw, and they both perished. And very sad situation, very sad day. This was a leisure sport. We're just trying to have fun, and I want to keep that. This is part of the reason why we have the show, is because I want to keep the sport pure, fun, and safe. And by the way, that's what you're investing in when you invest in the show. And let's give some stuff away.
Is that,
about that?
Hey, is that our new motto? We're
What?
here for you. We are here for you.
No.
All you, the others. We are here for you.
No, because I would
Yes.
rather be flying, but I'm here.
Yes, but you don't understand. See, we're all here for you. See, we're talking to the audience, y'all.
Oh, okay,
All
okay.
the followers, the people that have been watching this for years, Robert. We've been doing this for years. We're getting old, man.
So Craig Taylor bought us another batch of these, by the way.
Woohoo!
Neck gaiters for all. So we're gonna give this away tonight.
Yeah, we're going. Hey, you got enabled screen sharing, Bubba.
Bandana. Let's do that.
There's many ways to wear them. They give you the instructions, kind of, but I have a feeling that we better start getting used to them.
Yeah,
That's sad.
It's better than wearing a mask.
It's better than wearing a mask for sure. And I mean, it clears the rules and regulations that are starting to hit the state levels. Massachusetts, for example, is voting on making them mandatory if you are anywhere outside of your own home.
Pennsylvania just did that last week, and Ohio does it next week.
Yeah. So y'all see my screen, right? All right.
JP Tulo. He's like,
Look at all
I
these
need one
people.
of those bad.
Look at all these people here. All right, you ready? I'm spinning a little. There we go. It's spinning.
Oh, I can hear it.
It's spinning. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You said it was gonna be a big spin.
That's a big spin. Hey, I got a strong arm, man.
We're gonna give away
locked up in here for a while. I've been locked in here for a while.
That was a big spin. Jeez Louise.
I need some toilet paper.
That guy's getting dizzy there now.
I told you
Infinite tumble.
this
Infinite
would have been
tumble.
a good sponsor plug time.
I was
right
just
here,
gonna say,
Robert. That
this
was
is-
such a good roll.
This is the iFly Indiana powered paragliding spin.
Somebody Somebody grease the wheel, man. It's spinning. It's spinning.
Go check out iflyindiana.com.
right.
The website iflyindiana.com.
What?
Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground.
Look at that. Look right next to each other.
What?
It's still going.
Oh! That's a loose wheel.
Wait a minute. Oh. Congratulations,
Craig
Craig Couch. Congratulations, Craig Couch. Very, very well earned. That was a good spin, right?
Oh, that was funny.
Just said
As
no
it
whammies.
was approaching Sean and Robert, Craig was going,
I know. Yeah, he was running out of air for sure.
Craig Couch. I'm gonna check my email. Jim Furman said to check my email. So yeah, man, we're talking about all kinds of good stuff. Congratulations, Craig Couch. Oh,
Now we got another spin?
Yeah, you want to spin another one?
Yeah,
right.
let's do that.
We're gonna give away a T-shirt. Hold on a second. Let me grab the PPG T-shirt.
Yeah,
go ahead and spin the wheel. I'll be right back.
Well, hang on now, because the guy Aaron Michaels just jumped in. I got to put her name in there. She's gonna be angry at me.
Don't let that happen.
I don't want that to be. I don't want that to happen. Sometimes she sneaks me toilet papers and good cookies.
You know why Robert's the boss, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Of
course
Aaron
Robert's the
said he
boss.
could be.
That's right. Boom.
Robert gets in the last word every time. He says, "Yes, ma'am."
Yes, man.
All right, so we got the names in there. So I guess while Robert's using the restroom or whatever he's doing. Oh, there he is. He's getting a shirt. There we go.
He's getting a T-shirt that we can.
All right, so y'all can see the wheel here, and while I'm there we go. I'm spinning
something sticky on that wheel.
What's this T-shirt look like, Robert?
Infinite tumble right there.
That's what my chase cam looks like when I take off.
That was a good roll, man. I'm telling you, I really put my shoulder into it.
By the way, that spin was brought to you by Lone Star Paramotor. Lone Star Paramotor, if you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you can reach out to Ron Turan and his team for world-class training at LoneStarParamotor.com. Yeah, they got a great group over there. I really like Ron.
Here it comes. Oh.
This is for the PPG Smoke shirt. PPG Smoke
It's going to be Paul.
shirt.
I can't hear anybody else but the wheel. I don't know why, but
Come on, Miguel. Come on, Miguel. Come on, Miguel.
Oh, it's Rip Man.
It's gonna roll to flying goat Tim.
is it gonna get him? Is it
Oh,
gonna
my
get him?
God.
Right on the line.
Oh, no way.
Flying goat Tim!
Man got
Dude,
robbed.
that thing-
Congratulations, Flying Goat Tim.
Something happened to the
Rip
wheel.
Man Ryan, I'm
Sean-
sorry.
Sean put new
Flying
bearings
Goat
on
Tim
it or
got it.
something.
Dude, that thing is gnarly.
How did you, what happened? Did you find some way to grease that thing?
He put new bearings on.
Oh, man.
He did more than put bearing. He put a turbo in that damn
Oh, my
thing.
gosh. My wife donated $20 to the super chat. What did I do?
We must have.
What did I do?
Oh, that's why we got 76. We got even numbers. 35.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I
Bob.
can hear you now. Oh, finally, I can hear everybody. I couldn't hear you guys there for a minute. When I was spinning the wheel, I couldn't hear nobody at all.
Flying
I was
Goat
like,
Tim.
It's a very well balanced wheel.
It was today. Jeff Dean says rigged.
Flying Goat Tim, congratulations. You're the winner chicken dinner of a PPG Smoke T-shirt. We should probably give away one more neck gator. We'll do it towards the end of the show. Jim Reeves with us. Jim, thank you for joining.
I'm surprised that you asked me to come, but thank you.
I actually really enjoy your questions and comments. They're amazing.
So
I don't
Jim
have
at
near as much wit
CR120,
or
right?
things to say as I do have questions, so just a fair warning.
I do appreciate your questions every week, and that's why I brought you on. So thank you for, and also you're always contributing really good questions that lead to good content. So thank you for that. By the way, if you're in the chat, you make this show great. And thank you for sticking around. Look how many people are watching. 75 people.
oh no.
You guys are awesome, man. Seriously. Every week I get excited on Thursday. I'm like, man, this is where it's at.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
People are amazing. You know,
Best
realistically,
Thursday night you're gonna have.
people I was just talking to Ryan, free flight guy, and he's been on this tandem kick, and he's been taking a lot of his friends going tandem, and the guy that he took was completely speechless. He took him to Blossom. Oh, mom gave $20. Thanks, mom. The guide never said a word the whole time. He was just like, and so Ryan asked him, he's like, what do you think? And he was just blown away. He's just, I can't believe we're doing this. This is just amazing. And so he was just stoked. And I said it to Ryan. I was like, dude, what we're doing is amazing. We're flying like birds, bro. And so anyways, don't forget, don't let it get too normal. Cause once you get to that place, take a break or something. Cause this is 3 years in and I'm still loving every second.
Thank your mom, but then you say, what did I do to deserve this if I give you nothing but
Busted.
Did I get in
I
trouble?
was trying to be nice.
Oh, thank you.
Too late now.
Oh, thank you, Dave. It's like,
That's it. I don't know
On the
how I
internet
came
at
out
that,
with
like
things.
zing. Take that, Robert.
gosh,
Ask
man,
her what's for dinner. What's for dinner tonight?
it smells good. It's BLTs. It smells like bacon in here. Just letting you guys know. Let's talk a little bit about the time I full stalled on the 4th of July, shall we? Oh, I don't have the video queued up anymore because I couldn't get the show to start.
Breaking the internet,
Dang it.
Robert. Breaking the internet.
We'll come back to that. I full stalled on the 4th of July 3 years ago and landed on my back from like 15 feet. And it was brutal. Brian Richards, thank you.
Yep, just like play money. Put down
That's right.
another couple of bucks. It's all good.
Yeah. I thought I saw another question in there. Tulo, are neck gaiters for sale? Let me send you some money for one. JP Tulo, you don't need to do that, buddy.
You can
We'll
just
send you
send the extra one to me. I'll give it to JP. I see him. He lives on my side of town, so I could drop it off to him to save you the shipping there, Robert. Just saying,
Ship them both.
Yeah. Just send it to me. I'll be sure he gets it. Absolutely.
I wear a different one every day.
Nice.
Thursdays is paragliding talk, and like Mondays kind of plain, and Tuesdays.
Oh,
like,
I was thinking that you were saying that you wear a different paragliding talk one every day. And I was like, yeah, I thought about doing that.
I only stole one of these before I shipped them to you.
Oh, okay. If it gets too stinky, let me know. I'll give you another one.
Yeah, just I have to wash them every day.
Yeah, I wash mine like at least once a week. I don't wear it 24/7 though. Can't stand that stuff.
I'm going back to work after this.
I'm trying to bring the curve up. See how many people we can get the virus going to. You know what I mean? Spread it. Spread.
If everybody gets it, then it won't
Herd
be
immunity. If everybody gets a what?
It won't be an issue.
That's right. YouTube's gonna demonetize this one for sure.
They don't like you.
No.
You broke.
Let's talk about motor outs, shall we? And I know these are fundamental things, but I still am shocked every single time that I come across. Oh, thank you, Anthony, for that, putting a link in the description. I hear about these ground starts. I hear about these guys that are getting their butts handed to them. And it doesn't have to happen. Almost, I would say 99% of these things that are wrecking people are avoidable. You know, sometimes it's the day. Sometimes, yeah, this is the video for sure. I was gonna do the shorter version, the one I edited up. Let's just do this one. Boom. Pause. There might be some people in here who haven't seen this. I assume everybody's watched all of the videos of me wrecking in bushes.
While you're queuing it up, my last flight was Sunday. We flew Sunday morning from Otay out to the beach, and then about halfway, 3/4 of the way out, my motor was feeling a little weird. Something was going on, like a shimmy, almost like a sputter, almost something was going on. But as I got out to the beach, it definitely was more pronounced. So I made a beeline straight back to the LZ. It took probably 20, 30 minutes to get back. Had a little, still a little bit of a eastern wind. But I wanted to make sure I had plenty of altitude. So I was up about 1,100 feet or so. Fortunately, Brownfield, it wasn't open yet. It was before 8 o'clock. And as I came in, landing and stuff, so my spark plug, the wire, the cable that comes off the coil, as it sits on top of the spark plug, it's been kind of loose, and it was arcing. So it was creating a lot of, I guess it was pretty loose. So anyway, just ended up replacing the cap and screwing on a new cap, and it's much better. So that was my close to engine out. Although I've had plenty before, with either running out of gas or just mechanical issues.
So this is the video. Let's play this. 4th of July, had the day off of work, so I headed over to Little Black. Now, at this point, I had about maybe 10 or 15 flights. So I'm all over the place. I'm just loving the fact that there's a lift out here. There was a thermal coming up off the road, and as I'm coming back into land, I'm thinking, you know what? I got this, and I'm going to try to spot land on the circle. Now, right here, I realize, whoa, I got popped. Now my airspeed's almost done, and I'm pumping the brakes, trying to get into the spot. Boom. Now, I would say I was at least 10 feet off the ground, and I'll let you decide right here when you see this part. And are you guys seeing a really choppy?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a little choppy, but it's flowing.
Yeah. It's choppy, but you can see what's going on.
Do you guys remember how to share it where it's smoother? Do you remember what I have to do?
Check the 2 boxes before you share it.
Okay, let me go back here. Let's escape out of this for a second. Stop the share. Let's go back to the share.
And break the internet.
Optimize. Share. Oh, dear goodness. Share your computer audio. Please install the Zoom audio device. What is this?
Zoom is just messing with you tonight.
Dude, Zoom just crashed. That's great. Stop share. Okay.
Oh, it was showing. It was showing there for a second.
It just totally crashed on my computer.
Did it?
I'm surprised you guys are still here.
I'm surprised you're still here.
Okay, here we go.
How are we still here when we breaking the internet and you're breaking Zoom and Zoom's broken and we're on there somehow? That's pretty cool. You can break it and there you are, and it's working.
It was asking for a password and I didn't give it, and then it just closed everything.
Wow.
All right, we'll just let this ride.
JP says don't share the audio.
Don't share the audio. Got it.
And it'll have a better, faster screen. There you go.
There it is.
Boom.
Oh. Yeah, that's 12 feet, 15 feet.
Go back and do it one more time.
I love it. No matter where or who you are, you always look up and go, "Did you catch that on tape?"
Yeah.
Tell me you got it on video.
Tell me you got that.
Flap, stall.
Oh.
Hands up, Dad.
What a noob.
It's a good thing you had a butt pad in there.
Whew.
Look at he didn't
A whole lot of
tell his
squish.
kids he's all right. He told his kids, "You got that right. You got that on video, right?"
Like an airbag on the back end of that thing.
So I sent it again right afterwards. So that was flight 60 on the 4th of July. That's how many.
Ready to get back on the horse.
So the only thing that I had was a pretty gnarly bruise on my foot, and that was it. And so I got away with one for sure.
I'd at least had one on my butt cheek, at least one of them. Because good night, you hit hard.
Yeah.
JP says, "Ha ha, hands up, Dad."
Hands up. I was trying to spot land on my back. Yeah, done. So anyways, few lessons you could take away from this. One, don't be a butt lander. Two, when you start to get too overconfident is when bad things start to happen. And so your progression should be slow and steady, not let's see what we can do. Let's see how far we can bend this thing. Let's, whatever. So this is not a sport where you take chances. You're already taking the maximum allowable amount of chances by flying a bed sheet. Okay. So we shouldn't be taking extra risks. That's why I sold my motorcycle, by the way. When I started paragliding, I sold my motorcycle. Just got to mitigate your risks. So
I wouldn't suggest you try to butt land one of those. Just saying.
Yeah. Butt landing a motorcycle. When you talk about letting it fly, so a guy made a statement to me about flapping when I first got into the sport. Flapping is an indicator to let everyone know that you overshot and you failed before you got to where you were trying to land. So the failure wasn't right when you got there and you start flapping and then you go down. The failure was before you got there. Now I know that there's going to be cases. For example, I know every one of you free flight junkies are saying, well, I saw Gavin McCloud during the X Alps come flapping in from there was trees and he had a small area and he was flapping so hard that his wing was going parachutal every time he would flap, and then he landed and it was a good landing. I'm not talking about that. On a regular basis, we're just enjoying flying and you're getting better and better. Don't get we call it intermediate syndrome. Don't start playing the intermediate game. And that's what I did. I was way overconfident and don't flap.
So for the noob, were you like really heavy on the brakes? Were you trying to spot land? What were you attempting to do?
So I was so focused on landing on the spot because I had done it a couple times already and I was feeling really good about that. And I was pumping the brakes, and in my mind, I was pumping the brakes far enough that I was just, it felt to me like it was not enough. There's a certain place in your brakes that it feels like you lose pressure, and that's because your wing is falling behind. And you can actually catch it and put your hands up, and then it'll catch again. And then so here's the motion, right? If this is the front of the wing here, and I'm flying this way, you can flap your wing, and then pendulum backwards, and then just keep on doing that over and over again. And then you won't get any more forward speed. You got to factor in a couple things. What's the wind speed like? And then are you at an angle on a hill? So it's going to be much different when you're on flat. If you try to flap, and you're going to lose a lot of altitude, and you have to time it just right.
So that's a way to cheat a spot landing then, huh?
Yeah, but it's a poor way.
I do know Andre Bandera discusses flapping and why he does it. But yeah, like what you're saying, I never thought of it that way of, that's a way of showing people that you messed up. You're not trying to land where you are, but that's interesting that you brought that up because I've never heard of that. With a motor, I've never seen it done, but free flight videos I've seen quite a many guys do it and make sport of it too, kind of like just to kind of float in one spot, if that makes any sense, like ridge soaring, where they flap to stay in one spot and just kind of hover. That's pretty neat. It takes a skill.
Yeah, so it is more. JP Tulo mentioned that it's powered paraglider pilots don't flap. You typically don't because you're wanting to keep that ground speed up. Most of the time, you're flying in nil wind, and
yeah. But I also got to say, PPG, when you got a paramotor on your back, you can go around. Free flight, you're coming in.
Yeah.
When you got a motor, you can go around for a second shot. But and plus, you've got a lot more weight on your back too. So if you do stall, it's gonna hurt a hell of a lot more.
Crazy Uncle Bob asked, how much flight time should I get before? Oh, he was asking Leah Cachulo, how much flight time should I get before you go SIV? That question's come up quite a bit. And some guys say it's never too soon. Send it. Learn at an SIV. But I would disagree. Unless you got tons of money, I would say that you should fly a little bit before you do it. And so that you're not trying to hit your butt with both hands and can't do it on launch. You're towing. There's a lot of dynamics that you don't want to be learning at an SIV. Try to be able to at least forward launch. Know what. Do you see the video that Tucker dropped with the guy hitting the hay bale and breaking his foot?
Yeah, that's Brian Waller. Yeah,
Brian.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
He actually gave me a I love PPG cap when I was in Florida for watching me kite out there. Really, really good dude. Really good dude. It's a shame that.
Yeah, he's going to be. I'm sure he's already walking around. He's my wife. Is that why you guys are laughing?
Yeah,
it did.
I didn't say anything.
The same was the bag that made the noise.
We're breaking the internet, and Zoom is freezing up at times and points. It did for me. I don't know about y'all, but
yeah, I'm breaking wind. When I landed, I broke wind. Yes. By the way, this show is brought to you by Torrey Pines Glider Port. If you want to learn how to free fly in a really cool place, set your vacation up to come to Torrey Pines Glider Port. Get the training, get your P3. You can do it all in the most beautiful place in the country, Torrey Pines Glider Port. It's amazing. Go check out their website. It's flytorrey.com. Craig Taylor, what do you have for us tonight?
Resurgence PPG. They're a 501c3 nonprofit for veterans by veterans. Their mission is to provide an opportunity for emotionally and physically adaptive, capable veterans and warriors. Please support Resurgence. Anything you can do goes a long way. Believe it or not, you could be saving somebody's life, changing it for the better, or just making a difference. It really does go a long way. Also, smile.amazon will do that for you if you don't want to send something. Also, now it's available on the phone, so your Amazon app will take care of Smile. And please don't forget to log into paraglidingtalk.com and vote or nominate somebody for the Freedom of Flight Leadership Award. I don't have any updates on any nationally TFRs or NOTAMs, but don't forget, check your local area if you are not in a wide open Class G.
Excellent. Paraglidertalk.com.
Hey, Robert.
Yes.
Paul Elwood wants to know where you're going for your SIV course. You just had Brad Ganuscio on last week.
Yes. Right? I would really like to go to Brad's, but I signed up for Max Marion because he's going to give me a kind of discount to do some filming stuff. So I'm going to do some video stuff, and he's going to do some brotos, and there's a group of people going. So as long as it's Lake Berryessa in San Francisco. It's actually right outside of Sacramento.
I got a request.
Oh, you do?
If you're shooting video,
mm-hmm.
bring burritos.
I don't get sick when I'm flying, when I'm in control. It's when I'm a passenger.
Man. Brotos. You said brotos. I was like, burritos. What?
Burritos.
It's just like swimming, man. You gotta wait 30 minutes until after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming up. Before we run out of time, I wanted to talk. There was some people that were talking about doing some thermal flying at the beginning of the show, and so I wanted to get to that. I recently had a flight where I flew from Lake Elsinore, and we flew from there and went to Saboba, and that is, I think it's like 35, 40 miles is what the total was. That's what I heard from one of the guys that I flew with. Now, I don't know what mine was because my Vario died and I didn't get a chance to check my track. I did see my track on my Mini Garmin InReach Mini, but yeah. Anyways, I made the flight, but my Vario died right when I left the lake, and so I was thermaling by feel only. And when you're high up, when you're more than maybe a couple thousand feet, you can't. There's no landmarks to help you to know if you're going up or going down. And so there was a couple things that I learned on that flight, and I wanted to share those with you guys, especially for the free flight guys. One thing was that I was using other gliders to try to help me. Now that may not always work, but I would make a turn. I'd feel a good strong bump, and it felt like I was going up, and I would start to turn. And then in that turn, every time I would come around, I would look back to see the other two pilots that were nearby, and they were kind of far away, but I would see them and I would say, okay, now I'm a little bit, yep, I'm higher now. And then I make my, yeah, I'm in a thermal. This is great. And it's a strange feeling to be flying around like a bird, literally just going off air. But I would know because my ears would start popping. And each time I would get about 1,000 feet or so, and I could feel it would get wonky at the top, and I knew I was topping it out. And so then I would go on glide. And I did that about 5 or 6 times before I made it to Saboba. And then we had to literally dump all of our altitude just to go and land because we wanted to land at a really nice green field. And by the way, that video is coming soon. It's super fun, really fun day, really just unique experience. But there was some things. So let's talk about thermals. If you're going to be doing on motors, consider this first. This is the warning. Flying midday is dangerous, and flying midday with a motor on your back and very little experience is very, very dangerous. Going into a thermal, sometimes it'll take your wing away, especially if you're not very sensitive to your brake pressure. Going into a thermal that is a rowdy thermal, it'll scare you, and it'll scare you away from free flight, and nobody wants that to happen. So consider that if you're going to go and do it. Somebody mentioned earlier that they like watching Kyle O, and he'll go and fly. He'll go and send it with a motor and a Xeno. And I thought that was just hilarious. So he's flying around on a super high aspect ratio wing with a paramotor on the back. So it's totally cheating. You can almost never come down. Mom donated $5. Thanks, Mom. When you go into a thermal and you start to crank, here's what I took away from that long trip. I rely many of times on the beeps of my variometer. And if you don't know what that is, it's the beep, beep, beep. It tells you you're going up, and if you don't hear the beeps, you're not going up and you're not gaining any altitude. When you're really wanting a thermal, you're like, man, I just gotta get a thermal, and you'll be on glide for a long time. Sometimes I'm talking like 10 minutes at a time where you'll just be gliding down and down and down and down. You're like, oh man, I just need a thermal. I need a thermal. And what happens is the first little bump that you feel, like, oh, there's a lift. And you beep, 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 beep. And, oh yeah. And you start to turn. And here's what I think that I was doing wrong for a long time is that thermals a lot of times are made up of all these fingers, or if you want to use branches as an example. And the middle of these massive thermals the core might be really strong. And what you're going in for is like fool's gold. It's kind of the edge of the thermal, and it's not quite as strong. So you're flying along, and all of a sudden you hit that first finger, and it's not very good. But this one over here is really good. But this one's not so good, but it's still lifty. You go for that, and it's just weak lift. But if you can get into the core, boom, I mean, take you to the moon. It'll pop you through the inversion. Sometimes it'll get you way higher than you normally would have been able to. Anyways, I was not falling for the fool's gold because I didn't get to hear the light beeps when I was going up. I would fly until I felt the blast of the core of a really strong thermal, and then I was like, oh, okay, there we go. That's a thermal. I'm turning, and then just ripping. And by the way, Rip Man, I sent you an invite if you want to jump on. And I mean, just strong strong only. And so I felt like I did better without a vario. And that's the reason why I think I did better for that. Sizes. And then the last thing I want to mention is what triggers thermals. And the answer is differences of terrain. So if you're flying and maybe you want to do the toe thing and you're on flatland, you look for those areas where you've got maybe a just a brown patch of property meeting a nice green patch of property. Chances are you're going to have some good lift right in between it. Obviously, you need to check the lapse rate for the day and check what's happening with the temperature differential. So lapse rate is your temperature differential and altitude on where there's a really big gap between the temperatures and altitudes. You're going to have really strong thermals. And so consider those things. I was telling Nick before the show, I don't know where Nick went, but I was telling Nick before the show, when you go out, there's a time towards the end of the day we call the glass off. And we right around 5 o'clock is when glass off happens here, and we'll be at Blossom and it'll glass off. And that is like the bread and the butter, and we love it. And so you fly out and you catch a little altitude, and it's smooth. And then all of a sudden you'll start to feel everything lifting. And what it is, it's all the energy from the day leaving at the same time from all the different places. There's obviously going to be some spots that are going to release quicker. Rocks will hold heat for a long time, so they'll be pumping thermals for a while. And then the bushes will give up their energy that they have, and you'll be able to fly on that. But the glass off is great. So what you want to do, if you're going to try this with paramotor, you're going to try to go out and maybe just see what it feels like to fly in a little thermally weather. Check your weather, talk to your instructor if you're new, and or just consider going a little bit earlier than you would have, earlier than you normally would have. And we say just don't launch before 5 over here at Blossom, but that's still really booming here at 5 o'clock. It's still really strong. I went on Tuesday and I felt one of the strongest punch thermals that I've ever felt. And I thought, had I not been really sensitive on my brakes, my wing would have went pow and just blown to pieces. But anyways, super fun. So we're going to go to the after show. Thank you so much for all of everybody's comments. Oh yeah. What do you got?
Hang on here, Robert. We got one more spin, remember?
Oh yeah. We're going to give another one away, huh?
Now, hang on a minute. Since we're giving another one away,
Yeah.
I propose that we put Brian Waller's name in this wheel for saying his name on here and talking about his incident. Are you good with that? I'll put Brian Waller's name in here. All right.
Oh, I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say about that. His mistake that he told Tucker was that he accidentally pulled the wrong brake. He realized that he was kind of shifting to the left, and he pulled the left brake instead of the right brake to correct.
Well, and you know what was really interesting of that video that I saw? Something that I had thought about was that it appeared in the video to me, and I pay really, 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 really too close attention sometimes, but it seemed like he was hit by a crosswind where he was going straight, and then all of a sudden it shifted like this. That was from a crosswind.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that if it was a tight space to begin with, but when you have a crosswind like that, even if he had given right brake the correct input, he would have still blown over into it.
I got a thought on that. So I just watched the video today, and it seems to me that, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm the noob in the whole thing, but if the hay bale is coming up on his left-hand side, obviously he would want to be more to the right. However, if he cranks down on the right brake, even though he's trying to tell the wing to turn right, his body is actually going to swing pendulum left. It's going to put him more into the thing. So that's what I'm thinking actually did happen. I thought he pulled on the right to steer away, but that actually slid his body to left. It didn't give him enough time, and that put him into the bale. Had he pulled left to turn left, his body would have swung out to the right and maybe cleared it, like a slalom course, right?
Either way, it's still pretty close. I mean, that was pretty close. I was like, yo, pucker, 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 pow. I was like, oh, that sucks.
I didn't notice his foot until
and then you see
Tucker
his
pointed
toes.
it out.
I saw it as soon as it happened. I was like, oh, yeah, I feel that. You know what I mean? Like, oh. All right, we're going to spin. You ready, Robert?
Yeah, spin it.
And
We're
regardless, hay bales,
All right.
hay bales
Can
may,
you
you
hear
may
it?
think
Probably
that they're
not,
nice
huh?
and fluffy, but they're
Here,
pretty
y'all can hear
packed.
now.
They're not.
There we go. Oh,
Spin 100 miles an hour. It's not stopping.
Someone's gonna win a T-shirt for breakfast.
that was a good toss.
The wheel.
You're going to have to do some more curls there, Craig Taylor, to catch up with the spins like that.
It's spinning the other way now too.
There's 83 entries. That means there were 83 people watching at one point, or 82, because I saw my name in there.
Oh,
Gerald.
It's Mike PPG. No,
Mike.
it's Jeff Dean.
Oh, who's it gonna be?
Jeff Dean.
Jeff Dean.
Boom, Jeff Dean. Still
When's
going.
that?
congratulations,
Oh.
Dean.
Almost mama.
Mama almost got it.
Yeah.
Well, Mama certainly does pay a lot
Jeff
for
Dean.
those shirts. Man.
Awesome win.
She's put like about $185 in so far.
Yeah.
So that's
I just have to.
Ah.
Whenever she says, I want one of those, I'm like, Mom, you're not going to wear that. And she'll be like, I want one. I'm like, all right, I have to send you one. I mean, she gives like a mad woman.
Trike Flyer had a show last night, and she was bragging all about your show, Robert.
Oh, nice. Yeah. See, what I do is I send her to these other shows to infiltrate and then just do free advertising on there.
I totally couldn't hear anybody until just now. So whatever you all said, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, well, we weren't talking about you, Sean.
Oh,
Enough
okay.
about Sean.
Even better.
We're
You
going to.
lost it last time you did the wheel too.
Yeah, that's weird. You know, when I spun the wheel, I could hear the wheel going, but I couldn't hear anything anybody said. It probably didn't help that I had the headphones sitting by the microphone, so you all could hear the laws and everything. But yeah,
Rip Man hangs out with Jeff Dean's, so he says send it to him. He'll give it to him.
hey, congratulations. I thought it was going to get to JP. I was like, oh, look at that. How ironic, but it went right by. It just whizzed right by. I was like, oh, well.
We're going to go to the
I
after
try.
show. If you guys want to join, just drop your email in the chat if you're a Patreon supporter, a PayPal supporter, or if you a super chat supporter. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate everybody. Anthony, Jim, thank you for coming on. Craig Taylor, thank you for what you do. Sean and Nick, appreciate you guys. We have a great show. I'm going to be shipping all this stuff out. I got another batch of stuff to send. So stay tuned. If you're waiting for something else, it should be there anytime. So thank you again. We will see you on the next one. If I don't see you in the air, see you on there. Paraglidingtalk.com.
Yeah.